Good morning to one and all. Suprabhat. Respected Honorable Vice Chairman Mr. Anirudh Jindal sir, Director Professor Vikas Nath sir, Dean Corporate Affairs Ms. Prachi Jindal ma'am, our Chief Guest for the occasion Mr. Shivam Srivastav, Associate Director at Cognizant, all faculty members and dear students. We take pride in welcoming you all to Case Folio 2023, the 18th National Case Analysis and Presentation Competition here at the Geetarathan International Business School today. Geetarathan International Business School, GIBS, was established in the year 2004 and is affiliated to Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and approved by All India Council for Technical Education, AICTE, Ministry of HRD, Government of India for technical courses, and Bar Council of India, BCI, for law course. It is a self-financing ISO 9001-2008 certified and NAAC accredited institution. The institute conducts various courses, namely MBA, MBA International Business, BBA LLB Integrated, BA LLB Integrated, and BBA. GIBS has been rated A by National Assessment and Accreditation Council in second cycle. GIBS has been rated A+ by State Fee Regulatory Committee, a fee committee by Government of NCT of Delhi. GIBS has been rated highest grading A by Joint Inspection Committee of Government of NCT of Delhi and GGS IB University since 2013 till date. GIBS has been rated grade A by Academic Audit Cell of the Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University since 2011 till date. As one of the national capital's leading business schools, GIBS brings together people, cultures and ideas from around the corner to change lives and to transform organizations. The institute is an ideal setting for learning, a diverse community which is knit together by its physical environment as well as by its commitment to the highest standards of excellence, integrity, free expression and inquiry. The campus boasts state-of-the-art infrastructure, facilities and resources. The institute imparts quality education, develops analytical skills, promotes leadership qualities, improves communication skills, and instills creativity and confidence in building the professionals. For the all-round development of the students as future managers, GIBS takes immense pride in nurturing young minds and preparing them for the corporate world through various round-the-year activities that are a unique blend of theory and practice that goes beyond the regular academic curriculum. One such program is Case Folio 2023, the annual case analysis and presentation competition. This event is an attempt to bring together students from different B schools to compete in a fast-paced and challenging business environment, sharpen their analytical and problem-solving skills, focusing on their understanding, analytical ability, and judgment. This also develops teamwork and leadership qualities amongst the students. The lamp. The lamp symbolizes the pursuit of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. It serves as a beacon of hope, guiding us through the path of learning and self-discovery. I request Director Sir and our Chief Guest for the occasion to kindly invoke the blessings of wisdom and understanding as we inaugurate this event by lighting the lamp. Thank you, sirs. May the light that we have kindled today inspire us on the journey of learning and growth. May Lord Ganesha always bless you. Thank you for such enchanting and mesmerizing performance. Moving on, today we have with us a very special guest, the chief guest for the knowledgeable occasion, Mr. Shivam Srivastava, Associate Director at Cognizance. Splendid and commendable would be an understatement when one talks about Mr. Srivastava's vast experience and rich expertise in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He has more than 17 years of experience in life science domain with expertise in sales and marketing analytics. His extensive involvement in Gen AI and LLM solution across life science value chain has helped customers to sail through Gen AI implementation with ease. He has expertise in transforming business units into revitalized and streamlined businesses by producing measurable improvements under dynamic and shifting conditions. His client engagements mostly include Fortune 500 companies and the leaders in the respective domains. Mr. Srivastava has a team-based management style that is coupled with the zeal to drive visions into reality through effective mentoring and training of the team members. Sir, the day would seem less if we continue with your achievements. We welcome you to the GIBS and campus today, and I request Director Sir to kindly extend a floral welcome to our Chief Guest, Mr. Shivam Srivastava. Thank you, sir. We welcome you once again. I now request our respected director, Professor Vikas Nath, sir, to kindly come up on stage and address the august gathering.
Very good morning to all my dear students, faculty members, participating teams and staff members. I welcome you all for this 18th National Case Folio Competition 2023. As the name suggests, case study is a very important aspect as far as management education is concerned. Without cases in the class, I think we cannot go in for completing the problem-solving skills of the management students. It is understood that everything cannot be taught from the books, because books have come out from the pragmatic approach from the nature of management. The very nature of management has been that things have been practiced first and then theories have been written. That's how the field of management has developed. Hence the nature of management, when we teach in the class, we say it is pragmatic in nature. To make it more pragmatic, to make it more practical, we have to bring real life situations into life, which is done through cases. Now at this point of time, when I am talking to you as a teacher, I also myself happens to be student of case teaching and attended many workshops on case teaching and case development. The cases are to be positioned in such a manner that you are able to correlate with the theoretical part of knowledge which you have learned in different semesters. Some of you may be having a trimester system in some of the B schools like university. When we bring cases, we have to ensure that the case that we are teaching to you, you are able to correlate with the theory in the class. Sometimes life doesn't give us chance to learn, but it gives us chance to implement straight away, right? And the mistakes that we make at that point of time are heavy when it comes to the cost of paying for them. So life makes you face the failures, and then by looking at the failures you learn. Whereas when you bring the cases in the class, you can learn to make decisions by facing those types of situations in the class. There is no cost associated with it. But at the same time, there are problem solving skills, there are solutions coming up, different minds are going to give different solutions, and when we talk of case studies, no one solution is the best solution. Every solution is the best. But then we have to see how much risk factor you have taken into consideration, how much payoff is associated with your decision making, and what's the quality of alternatives that you have suggested so that you win a particular case competition, the type of solution that you give. When I'm talking on this occasion, there are a few things which I would like to share with you as far as competing is concerned, as far as presentation, while you are making the presentation of the case which you have solved here, there are a few things which you must be taking care of. First is, when the case is given to you, try to make a small introduction of that case. We would like to see how you introduce that case to us and what is that particular skill which you are going to showcase. Next is going for defining the problem which you find in that case. We would like to see how you are identifying the problem. Are you identifying the problem, or you are identifying only the symptoms? Okay? So whether the problem has been rightly identified or not, we would like to see that also. Third, what type of data analysis and what type of research you are doing when you are solving that particular case. A case may have the data within the case which will be there, which will find, but we will also give you the opportunity to sit in the lab with a computer terminal so that you can search more. The reason is, case doesn't give you full data. And at the same time, when the situation is being given to you, you have to correlate the situation with the present scenario, and hence research in the lab has to be done to see what exactly is happening in the business environment at present. So that part also will be taken care of. We would like to understand your strategic mind. How do you do the strategic analysis associated with that particular case? Because everyone is facing the same situation, everyone is having the same case. But how is your mind different from the other's mind will only be determined with the type of strategic analysis that you are doing. SWOT analysis is not to be left, because how you are identifying the strength, weaknesses, opportunities and threats from the given situation in the case makes us understand how you are analyzing the case. We'd also like to understand the proposed strategy for the solutions associated with the problem in that particular case. So we understand that you will be able to give different proposed strategies which are acting as a solution to that particular case. This may be 1, 2 or more. It depends upon you how many alternatives you are able to think. The more you are able to think, you also then have to come up which is the best alternative according to you and why. So what you are thinking, elimination process also has to start from within and you will keep on eliminating the other alternatives to come up to the one best alternative with the reason why that is the best alternative. Risk analysis, if any, has to be done, and finally we would like to listen to your conclusion for that particular case. That's how we will be doing the case analysis, and the case is being released today. There are a few things which we would like to ask also. So at the end of the case analysis, we will be asking you a few questions to which you have to give the answers, and your quality of answers will also determine what type of position you get in this particular case. There are a few general rules for the competition which I think I should be sharing with you here itself, though the team members will be sharing, but a broad outline of the rules must be known to you of how you are going to take care of it. In this inaugural session, we are going to release the case. It is one of the best cases which will come across. We will be able to correlate yourself with that case. So we have tried to take care that when we are giving you a case, you are able to correlate yourself with the case. So in the inaugural session, we are going to release the case. The event is offline, so no online participation is there. All the teams have been invited to the campus. We wanted to have elimination stage yesterday, but then we found that few of the teams were not able to join online because of certain technical glitches, and hence we never wanted to miss those teams, and hence thought, why not to call everyone here, give equal opportunity to all, and let the best person and the best team win this particular competition. So we are going to provide you 2.5 hours. After the inaugural session, we are going to start with the competition at 11, and we'll be giving time till 1:30 to you. By 1:40, you have to submit your presentation. Your presentation should be comprehensive, should be able to take care of the areas which I have just now focused upon, and should have conclusion towards the end with the solution inbuilt in that particular PowerPoint presentation. All the presentations that you make will then be submitted to us, and no more changes are acceptable. So after that, you are going to make the presentation from the server in which your presentation has been loaded, and that presentation will only be used. Okay? So no more changes once you have gone in for making the submission of the case. We'll do the preliminary evaluation of the case, which will be done between 1:45 to 3:30 p.m. and this will be the screening stage where we are going to screen out 10 teams, and the remaining 10 teams or remaining half teams, depending upon how many teams are participating at present, will move on to the final round. The final round will be evaluated by judges coming from MDI and FMS. Right? So judges will be of different level, and therefore your analysis has to come up to that particular level that you are able to satisfy faculty from Faculty of Management Studies, Delhi University, and MDI Gurgaon. In the final round, we are going to give you 7 minutes for the presentation and 3 minutes for question answer session. And before that, in the preliminary round, you will also get practice to answer to the panel of judges who are shortlisted. When we are screening you, ensure that you are speaking to the point and relevant. We will not be giving you the chance to speak again. So you have to put forward your best point. For that, you have 2.5 hours of preparation, summarizing and jotting down your points which you are going to speak to the panel. Once those 5 to 7 minutes have been given to you, there is no more second chance coming to you. Right? So you have to come forward with your best ability and best answer to the screening team, and then you move ahead in the final round to face the judges. That's how things have been developed. At this point of time, if you have any question, I will give you a chance to raise your hand and also ask me. Our faculty coordinators will always be there to assist you in the lab. Any question you have, you can ask them. We are also going to release these rules in the lab itself. When you're sitting there, you will have the rules handy with you. Okay? and on the basis of the rules, go in for doing the necessary analysis. Now this was regarding case study and case analysis. The chief guest who is here today has been given the introduction, but let me tell you about him. He is a man of management. He did doctorate in management from Aligarh Muslim University, and I happen to be one of the co-supervisors when he was doing the PhD. So though he is a person working in the life science, but is well versed as far as data analytics is concerned. So he's a man of data analytics, does a lot of analysis on different softwares. He's using artificial intelligence to its best, and he was showing some of the things to me today in the morning, which impressed me, that how artificial intelligence is being used for different things. Now the time has come that human is using less mind because there is an artificial mind available to help you. But I am also using a word of caution. We will not allow you to use AI in this analysis. Right? The reason is, in real life situation, as a manager, as a leader, you will not have AI in your hand to give you help all the time. It is your presence of mind, your decision making that is going to count for. AI is just a support system which will always be there in your pocket whenever you want to use it. But first thing, it is the human who has to prove himself that he has the best of the mind and he doesn't require any artificiality as far as his thinking process is concerned. I think with these words of wisdom to you and with what we expect from you, I wish you all the best for this competition. May the best team win, but all teams are bound to gain from it. The reason is, when you are going through the case, the knowledge which you are going to create for yourself and your team, the analysis which you are going to present to us, you will be a better student as you are at present after this case analysis is over. So once again, all the best to you. Do the best and may the best team win and show that spirit that you are the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure none of us would be able to lay down the criteria and description in such a crisp and concise manner better than you, sir. Thank you for throwing light on the importance of case study analysis and solving present in analysis, like in a preliminary round, as stated in the time scenario by sir already. Out of the registered team present after the presentation, final selections will be done and they will be making a final presentation followed by a Q&A. This is the analysis and presentations on the case which now will be formally released by our chief guest, Mr. Shivang sir, which will be evaluated by a panel of judges. And I now request Mr. Srivastava to kindly release the case to begin the further proceedings of the event today. I request Director Sir to kindly accompany. I request Dr. Urvesh Chaudhary to please join the team. And I request Dr. Abhijit Das to please join the dignitaries in unveiling the case today.
So this is the case which is coming up to you. Once the case is in your hand, you are going to read it. You will be able to correlate because the concept of the case is such that you are using this concept in your real life every day, now and then. Right? So all the best.
1 second, sir.
So, take your time.
अरे तू अपने आप लेना, सर को क्या बताना. So we'll have a picture. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir and ma'am. Now moving on, like director sir already said, our chief guest for the occasion is a PhD from Aligarh Muslim University and a postgraduate diploma in global business management and international marketing. Mr. Shivam Srivastava is blessed with excellent analytical and communication skills. Sir, we are all eager to hear your kind words and I request you to enlighten us with your views today. Sir, please.
So, very good morning to my director sir. He has been my mentor and guide for almost more than 12 years now, and I have learned a lot. And very good morning to all the distinguished faculty members, organizers, because I think organizers takes a lot of effort to put such show. And then to my dear friends who were here to participate in the case study. So I don't want to dwell more on the case, how it is built. I may be talking more on the real side scenarios which we face day to day. So why case study or say forming the problem statement is important, because we talk to the customers on a daily basis on something or some other issues. And in 95% I would say they are not clear about the problem statement they have. So basically they will say, okay, I want to do this, but how they want to do it, do they have the right data to support that, do they have right ecosystem to support that, and what the benefit that they are going to get out of it. So all those is our daily life scenario where we struggle a lot to frame out the problem statement. And what I see that the today's generation that is coming out, I don't want to criticize, I am just putting the experience that they want to learn faster and know faster, but they want to skip certain steps. So basically, if you learn say nth step, but you have learned the 1 or 2 or 3rd step, so basically then you are missing out a critical component of it. So the framing problem statement is must. In engagements that we deliver, we go with the detailed discovery sessions. We have a lot of connects or sessions with the stakeholders, or say basically the ecosystem who are all involved in that decision making, or the impacted audience. So basically we talk about what the challenges they face day in, day out, what are the value they are expecting out of a certain say solution. So basically that kind of help us putting all those thoughts, stitching together, then we come up with the problem statement. Trust me, if you have framed your problem statement right, half of the job is done. The analysis and everything is part of your, you are already learned in the curriculum. The problem statement framing will come as a part of experience. The more you do the case study examples, you will learn better. So I think I don't want to take it forward, but yes, the learning process on the problem statement has to go on, and this is not something that you will learn in 1 or 2 or say 10 number of cases, because you will be encountered with a variety of cases when you go into say in a corporate job. Also, taking the factor, sir was talking about the SWOT analysis. Maybe I would want to extend it further. It is more of like the ecosystem you work and the ecosystem you're going to work with. So basically, your internal organization, what's the political challenges you have? Do you have the right set of resources to deliver that problem? Because you are part of one particular team, one function. You may not have all the resources. So are you going to have all those resources? Will you be able to arrange all those resources to address that problem statement? Now, is that the client organization also had the same support system, or they have some political influence? All that as a manager, future manager, you have to think in the direction how you want to tackle it. So basically, when you are in a sole kind of front runner of that problem solver, you will be faced with the multiple challenges. One is that it's not just identifying the problem statement and then delivering it. managing the entire ecosystem of stakeholders is equally important, because I have faced it. We delivered the perfect solution, but we were not able to convince a customer who's kind of not, they come with their own set of mind that, hey, this is something, this has to be 100% perfect. Trust me, no AI model or something can be 100% perfect other than human. So in my service, in my job, I haven't seen that any model delivering 100% accurate result, because you will have always margin of error. You are all students of maths, stats, you have learned that confidence interval kind of a thing. So taking that a pinch of salt, that yes, you will face the challenge on a daily basis, but you need to learn that art, how you will overcome. And the more you learn, the more experience you gain, the more vibrant profile you will build. So with that note, I want to end, and I want to thank you and wish you all the best in your case folio analysis. I hope you will do the best. So thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, sir. Your wisdom, experience and insights have truly enriched our gathering, and we are deeply appreciative of your time, wisdom and knowledgeable presence here today. The humility and clarity with which you have expressed yourself over this event today shall remain in our hearts and minds forever. Now, before we conclude the inaugural session, it is an honor and privilege for us to have Mr. Shivam Srivastava here today with us, who has kindly taken out time from his busy schedule and graced our event with his presence. Sir, your presence here today has added a special charm and significance to this occasion, and I would request Director Sir to kindly present a token of appreciation and gratitude to our esteemed guest. I request all of you to please put up your hands together.
सर आगे हो जाओ, वो लग जाएगा आपके.
Thank you, GIBS. It's my first occasion. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. Thank you so much once again. I now request Professor Dr. Kanika Balasubramaniam to kindly extend a vote of thanks to the gathering.
Good morning, all. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose vote of thanks on this special occasion. I would like to thank Honorable Vice Chancellor, Vice Chairman, Mr. Anirudh Jindal and Dean Ma'am, Ms. Prachi Jindal. They supported in all possible manner to organize this event. My special thanks to Dr. Shivam Srivastava, Associate Director Cognizant, for his gracious presence. My sincere thanks to Director Professor Vikas Nath for his help and support at various stages. I am very much thankful for all the faculty members and non-teaching staff members who always stand by us and motivate us. I feel proud and thank you for making this event a success. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I now request the students who have participated and registered along with the student coordinators to kindly assemble in the canteen area for tea. And that will be followed by the event today, and the case is all yours. Thank you, sir.
Which room at what time? 220. Please
After the tea, may I have a kind attention please, all of you. After the tea, the students are required to assemble in the room 201 on second floor. Yeah. Thank you. We have a
facilities and resources. The Institute imparts quality education, development and analytical skill, promotes leadership qualities, improves communication skills and insight, creativity and confidence in budding professionals. One such program in Case Folio 2023, the Case Analysis and Presentation Competition. This event is an attempt to bring together students from different B schools to compete in a fast-paced, challenging business environment, sharpen their analytical and problem-solving skills, focusing on understanding, analytical ability and judgment. This is also develop teamwork and leadership quality among the students. Now we have our esteemed guest here. Dr. Neeva Bhandari has over 18 years of training and teaching experience as a communication professional. She has worked with Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, ICFA and Central University of Rajasthan. Dr. Bhandari has successfully attempted a complete revamping, designing and initiating business communication, credit and audit courses for various institutions. She has published and presented research papers at various national and international conferences in India, abroad, including the one at King's College, London, UK in 2010, Academy for Marketing Conference 2010 at Coventry, UK, 6th Asian Business Research Conference in Bangkok, Thailand in 2013, and another one on sustainable tourist practice at Bali, Indonesia 2014. She has also organized many faculty development workshops for her fraternity. We are extremely honored to have you here with us, ma'am. Our second chief guest is Dr. Soma De, who holds a PhD degree in economics from the University of Minnesota and an MPhil from Indira Gandhi International Institute of Development and Research. She had diverse academic background, including teaching at prestigious institutes such as University of Delhi, the National University of Singapore and the University of Minnesota. Her area of expertise and specialization encompasses applied microeconomics, industrial organizational, intellectual property and innovation. Ma'am has conducted research on topics related to R&D, patenting decision and the implementation of intellectual property in various industries. With a range of research paper and ongoing projects, she had made significant contributions to the field of economics. We sincerely appreciate your presence today, ma'am. Now I would request our director, sir, to present a green love to ma'am.
Sure. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome once again.
taking this event forward. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready to dive into the thrilling final of case analysis presentation competition. In the final round, we have the top teams will unveil their in-depth analysis for the provided case study. And the top teams we all know are CF2, CF4, CF6, CF8, CF9, CF13, CF16, CF17, CF18 and CF20. Now I would like to call the first team, CF2, to come up on stage and start giving their presentation to our judges.
Present hoga.
Can we just have a word?
So the introduction part is what is exactly Aadhaar? So Aadhaar is something that gives us everyone, that's 1.5 million people a 12-digit code for their unique identification. We will dive into the further slides, what is it, what is needed and everything. So it is for smart governance, efficient digital services, and we will explain everything in detail. So these are the three things that we can do Aadhaar, we can do with Aadhaar with very quick procedures. Like in the beginning stage, the government has already done this. That is the digital identity Aadhaar. As we all see that Aadhaar has a QR code inside it, and it's a digital identity. So smart governance also includes something that is universal in nature. So that is one of the points, and it is like very fast paced. So you enter your Aadhaar number along with the verified devices, and everything will come up. So the question is, why do we need an universal IDs anyway? So what's the deal of it? So basically, almost every developed country on this planet have an universal ID. Let's take an example of United States. They have the social security number. You can give a social security number to a verified user, and they can see all of your data, your arrest reports and everything, from your pension funds to everything on the social security number itself. So that was one need. We felt it. We are 1.5 billion, the most populous country in the world, and that's why we needed to act fast on a universal thing. Our services also suffered, and lead times we got hampered because we got a huge population to manage, but there was not any universal ID. No existing IDs were comprehensive. So comprehensive is clearly something that includes everything. That is something that includes almost everything. So we got the election commission cards, we also got the passports, we got the bank statements, everything, but nothing was comprehensive which can be a database for all. So that was something. And here's a very shocking fact. In 2010, 40% of our population was not even registered at their birth. So we didn't have their data. Or the 40%, almost half our country was not having the birth certificate. Because the government data released. 30% could not read and write. 3 out of 10 people were not able to read and write. That's a shocking thing. 60%, and this is a very financially shocking thing, that more than half of our country, half of our economy were unbanked. So that is something we needed to work upon. So what it led to, what the problems led to exactly. So on January 28, 2009, Aadhaar was born. The name was a bit different in the beginning, later it got changed to Aadhaar. The name was UIDAI in the beginning. So it included 10 fingerprints and 2 iris, which is unique to everyone. So that is something. And then Mr. Nandan was invited by the Prime Minister himself to take upon the chairmanship of the UIDAI. Strategies opted by the Aadhaar team. So Aadhaar team really went good with a good marketing strategy to make the people aware about the things. You know, in India and in any country, there's a bit of hesitation when something is new. So that's very great thing we added. Mera Aadhaar, Meri Pehchan. It's created a sense of nationalism and proud feeling to have a identity based on a universal thing. And in every Aadhaar card is written Mera Aadhaar, Meri Pehchan. So that is something we can look upon in the corporate world itself. To have a great tagline, that is Mera Aadhaar, Meri Pehchan. Not only that, due to the cost constraint, because we are not exactly a very flourished economy, we are fifth in the world, but according to the per capita, we are not that great. So we had to take care of the things that Aadhaar should not be exactly per piece very costly. So that is something we did, the government did, because it's basically plastic and there's no exactly chip functions. There's no chip in Aadhaar. So that is something we could really run from. That is the impact on Aadhaar. This slide is one of the most important slides of the presentation. This clearly shows the impact of Aadhaar. In the first year itself, in 2021 itself, $66 billion. That is something, that is some amount. $66 billion got saved because of Aadhaar in various 313 government schemes. So we saved $66 billion. How? Because people were withdrawing pensions, people were withdrawing all kinds of subsidies from the government under fake names. So because of Aadhaar, it all got shut down. Not completely, but more probability is like the corruption is eliminated now. We distributed 5 billion via digital payments directly into the bank accounts. You know, our Prime Minister always says, never forget to mention that we directly give the benefits into the bank accounts. That is something that Aadhaar transaction did. We saw in 2021 already 4 billion transactions occurred based on our. Okay. And the Aadhaar also got presented 14 million times to of any services. So this is the data, that is the bank accounts linked to Aadhaar. So in 2021 you can see there's 767 million bank accounts linked to Aadhaar. Prospect, this is one of the good things Aadhaar did, and we will discuss the later the cons also. So as we mentioned, 1.2 million had access to 39% daily ration, 50% LPG subsidies, and 9 million drawing pensions and everything. Manrega is also connected to Aadhaar and everything. Cons. So we analyzed the case study and we thought there were some problems. That is something. So identity theft is one of the problems with Aadhaar. There's a lot of things coming up with identity theft and people having money withdrawn from their bank accounts without their knowledge based on Aadhaar transactions. So that is something we look upon. Proposed solution. We propose that Aadhaar is doing the merge thing, but it should also have the mobile verification thing. That end-to-end encryption should be there and there should be specific entities to tackle Aadhaar frauds. Conclusion. Aadhaar made sure that the entire country gets access to bank accounts. That is something very important to look upon in a good flourishing economy. Aadhaar also created the background of the UPI. UPI is one of the most revolutionary things in the 21st century itself. Okay. So, thank you so much for listening patiently. Any question are you welcome.
Okay, let's just get back to your that slide where you had given a suggestion as to how. So this is the proposed solution. Okay, so this proposed solution consists of what? An app?
What?
It consists of what?
So it consists basically what the solution has been opted and can be opted in future that could tackle the existing Aadhaar problem. So that.
So is in the form of what? You want to suggest an app? How should it be done? What is the way to do it? Do you have any proposals for that? Yes, please.
So here we said that government has introduced mass Aadhaar card. So it's like people don't know about it as of now. It's new. But in master Aadhaar, only 4 digits of your 12-digit identity number is shown, and rest of it is hidden. But what must be hidden is also your address, your DOB. So we believe government should people should only be able to see your main details, your name, and not anything else.
So just give us a little bit of a roadmap as to, so you are saying the government should again, how should the government do it?
Government has proposed the mass UI, mass Aadhaar card. It's on your app also if you want to download it. So government should start with first, there should be addresses that why they are proposing it. What actually it is causing, why people are taking your identities. See, we go for vacation, we stay in a hotel, we give Aadhaar card as our identity. But then we also give our full address, our DOB. Those are the main things we actually add in all the other documents.
So it can be done through awareness programs itself. We can add into the textbooks to learn, to make the kids learn and everything. In the high school books also, we can have awareness programs, and we can also have teachers communication. There's a huge network of government schools inside our country, so we can run awareness programs as well.
Okay. I think we are good now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
To add a point in this, So basically, most of the cases is one of the cases which is the Aadhaar problem, that people are misusing our Aadhaar, like they are taking loan on our names, and the people like who is owner of that Aadhaar, they are not aware about it. So there should be something else, that there should be a specific department for this. Right now, the cybercrime department is handling this. Like these are fraud cases, so there should be a specific department like who should deal in these cases.
So, but that is now you are saying something else, right? In addition to this, you are also suggesting something else. Is that?
This is a suggestion.
Oh.
This is regarding the financial background, and that is regarding the awareness program. Yeah.
A quick question, can you go to the previous slides? Previous? Back? Yeah, okay. This information is from the case?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Okay, now I would like to have the next team for presentation, that is CF4. Please come on stage.
So Aadhaar is a system in India that is the most sophisticated system, and it has it provides a card which denies the process of cumbersome paperwork and makes the work easy. And it involves things like financial transactions. So Aadhaar is a 12-digit identification number, which is a unique identification number for all the citizens, and it provides the authority of India on behalf of it is provided by the government of India. So the number serves as a proof of identity and address anywhere in India.
Aadhaar can be verified by 10 fingerprints and 2 iris scans.
Aadhaar was founded by Nandan Nilekani, who is the first chairperson of Uday, and he said that his only function is to say that this person is X and nothing more.
Aadhaar was a unique kind of government program that paid for itself. Aadhaar was design and implementation of the Aadhaar card. Aadhaar is just a number that convert digital identity. A unique number was printed that can be downloaded easily from any nearby internet centers. So uses of Aadhaar in the public sector, in health and employment, Ayushman Bharat,
and Manrega, which was employment was being provided. Then we have finance for LPG and Pratyaksh for health. Then we have transportation, which access for electronic payments and FASTag on vehicles.
The problems faced by the Aadhaar card were identification issues. There were no tracking systems, and many intermediaries were involved in the Aadhaar card system. The fake or duplicate IDs were used to misuse it. SWOT analysis strengths are single source of identification, enhancing the banking and government systems, improvement of the internal business relations.
The weaknesses of weakness are limited tech capacity and poor internal communication, as most of the population still have to make the card. Opportunities are the hardware and software ecosystem that can be provided, and the prospects for advertisement agencies, collaboration with foreign companies, as most of the foreign companies have told that Aadhaar is a good platform. The threats are lack of human resources. We need to educate people more about this. Security issues are still there, and data due to corruption can sometimes make data leak. There are privacy concerns as well, as the data can be duplicated by anyone. So the system will authenticate by deduplicate the things and work on the internet processing.
As we can say that the Indian government is gearing up to leap from this towards the next level of transformation. Though there are some problems, but they are working aggressively to make Aadhaar 2.0. Thank you. Any questions, ma'am?
Can you go to the previous slide?
Yes.
And the previous to this one? Yeah. Any suggestions?
Ma'am, we have used deduplication and iris scan for this.
Verification process of Aadhaar card is like 10 fingerprints are taken and 2 iris scans are there. So duplication is very less now.
So are you saying this problem has been solved? Is that what you're saying?
It has been less.
So it is, whatever the government has done regarding this is working?
Yes, ma'am.
That's the essence. Anything you want to, like, where do you see this honestly? Any suggestion or any observation as to what can be some of the next steps?
Aadhaar 2.0 is also there. Aadhaar 2.0 is the next generation identification process which was conducted by founder of the Aadhaar, who is Nandan Malklani.
So that, what would that entail and what kind of benefits are we going to get out of it?
I mean, it will give more security. Like data will not leak.
Okay, so that's a security aspect. But do you see anything that can be done more using Aadhaar?
Now we can do this in finance and education. We can educate people more about this.
About what?
Now about the use of Aadhaar and how to do the verification and work on the verification process of the Aadhaar.
Aadhaar is very useful. In rural areas, it gives ration cards. Basically, COVID-19, at the time of COVID-19, it was very helpful. Ration cards were given to the rural people or the poor people, so the right to use of resources were there.
And it helps in microfinancing in the rural areas and the health sector of the economy.
Thank you.
And Aadhaar, as you know, that it is a unique identification card of India, and government is also focusing on this particular card because as if it contains many more beneficiaries where people can get benefit like public distribution system. And in COVID-19 time, we have seen that the rations, each and everything is getting through it. Even one more thing, ma'am, the people who are getting birth or people who are getting death is also having the proper data in it. So we are having the problem. Ma'am, the problem in the Aadhaar is actually lack in the public distribution system because, ma'am, in rural section, still people are not having or not registered in the Aadhaar. And online transactions in rural areas is also an issue because people are having Aadhaar, but still, ma'am, in the rural area, ma'am, they are not actually enabling the SIM card or each and everything. The third one, ma'am, that beneficiaries, many newcomers or new child is born, it is not registered, so they are not getting benefits. And ma'am, the fourth is a lack of security. Ma'am, fake Aadhaar card duplicates is also there, so there is a problem. Ma'am, fifth one is a mismatch between photo and info. Many times we have seen that a person is someone else and the photo is someone else or my neighborhood or can be anything.
Thank you, Utkarsh. Now we move on to the SWOT analysis. The strengths of the Aadhaar card, as mentioned, is that cutting down on corruption. Before the Aadhaar card is released, many people take bribes for making the financial records of the people so that they can get loans from the bank. But because due to Aadhaar card came in the market, this corruption activity has lost. Aadhaar card is also cost effective, as many charges which poor people are paying for the unauthorized government people to make their reports due to free Aadhaar card service that government has launched. It reduces the cost of the poor people. The weakness of this is that it's a duplicacy. Many people make duplicate Aadhaar cards, as it's easier for them to make this because in Aadhaar cards there is no provided how many members in a families are there. So they take names of their grandfathers twice, and one they keep for the personal use and second for some misuse activity. Second is privacy concerns. When Aadhaar card is on the stage of building, many data breaches are happening nowadays, and many personal information are leaked of the people. The opportunity for the Aadhaar card is that banking systems can be upgraded to the poor and to the rural areas also, as urban areas have many banking systems, but poor rural areas don't have. And second is corruption-free schemes. Government should also have to launch for the corruption-free schemes so that no unauthorized people can charge prices for the Aadhaar card. And the threats are new government, new plans. Nowadays, government after 5 years, government changes. So it leads to a very significant problem when Aadhaar card was launching, because one government is the ruling government is in favor of the Aadhaar card, but opposition party is always saying that Aadhaar card is not beneficial. So it's a threat for the online frauds. Many people are facing online frauds with the Aadhaar card because they have to put your Aadhaar number to make the transaction. So it's a greater threat. Next solution.
Solutions. As per the case study, we have analyzed this solution. Improve biometric infrastructure by upgrading devices. Second one is refrain from uploading Aadhaar on website unless they are absolutely safe and authentic. Third one is implementing strict access control and encryption technique to protect data. And the last one is develop advanced technology like facial recognition or liveness detection to enhance identity verification.
And the last is the conclusion. The purpose of Aadhaar card program is to provide universal identity. It means that each and every person, not only citizen, person who is residing in India after 182 days, he can enroll for the Aadhaar card. The card alone suffice a proof that identity of address. It means, ma'am, in Aadhaar card you have an actual permanent address where you live and where you get your hometown and everything. And ma'am, it is expected to reduce corruption. As if, ma'am, you are having a proper identity, your father, mother, many more things are already involved, PAN, income tax. So ma'am, the point that you are not filling up the income tax or ITR and many more things, or you are hiding your income, can be easily detected by the Aadhaar card, the applications or the authority itself. And ma'am, Aadhaar card is actually a one-stop solution in the entire India, but mainly in the rural sector, where people can avail primary healthcare facilities, public distribution system, each and everything. Ma'am, it is essential to boost the economy, as if we are having a agriculture-based economy. 70% is agriculture. So ma'am, a thing like Aadhaar card must to be in advance, in a good mood, in an innovation or creative motion, so that we can avail each and everything. Every Indian from the rural to the urban background must be there in the Aadhaar card itself. And ma'am, I think in future the current government is also working that we can avail many more facilities in it, so that it will get a good impact on the economy, citizen economy, and international business also, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for this lovely presentation. I have a very simple question. This first point that you have here, it says Indian resident.
Yes,
just a quick question. Is Indian resident equal to an Indian citizen?
No, ma'am.
Oh. So do you have another mechanism for an Indian citizen? What would that be?
So you have to be Indian citizen. You have to stay in India for 12 years. After 12 years you get Indian citizenship. But for resident of India, you have to be present in India for 182 days. And the difference is that if you stay in India for 182 days, you have to also fill ITR. That's the main difference. Well, Indian citizen also have to pay ITR, but 182 days person also is applicable to fill the ITR.
Right. Any other scheme introduced by the government for Indian citizens to identify an Indian citizen?
Recently when government, few months back, ma'am, introduced Aadhaar 2.0. So ma'am, here ma'am, the people who are newborn or getting, the person who are already, they have not registered death, we can also register death over there. And ma'am, it is a kind of upgradation of the previous data. A new data is there, so that it will be quite helpful in the census, the stats for state government or in the union territory level, ma'am.
Actually, because there is a problem in the Aadhaar card, that is auto operation. That if one person die in the family, his Aadhaar card does not show that he is dead. So many people misuses that information to take loans on the family member that is already dead, and when the repayment of the time of the loan came, they show their death certificate that it is already dead. So obviously the bank cannot recover that amount. So that is the biggest issue which Aadhaar card is facing. So we have taken the solution that in an app we can have a criteria of updating the Aadhaar card in every 5 years or 4 years, so that all these problems, that is the major problem, can be solved through that. The death of the family member in which Aadhaar card is not approved.
Ma'am, actually, we will create, kind of solution to the present government that please create one more website of Aadhaar card where people who are not registered on having death, they can instantly within a week or 10 days they can register with the proof that the person is dead or we are having a newborn child, so that easily the Aadhaar card data is get back into the previous one. It is not easily happening in the rural areas, ma'am. That's the problem actually. Urban is good, ma'am. The hospital is everything is within a week. The Aadhaar card is sent for the newborn child or within a month. A new portal. Awareness is also needed, so government will take care of it. We are having this solution. Thank you. Anything else?
Just make an observation that when you are doing SWOT analysis, remember SW is already, this is a complicated thing to do a SWOT analysis. Because what is the industry? Right? And the SW part of it is internal. That's where you look at whatever unit you are looking at internal. The OT parts are external. And generally we do it when you are guessing your business students. When you do it in the firm is located in the bigger context of the industry. So you need to be a little careful when you choose your topics for this and that. Just one observation that you just made. So are you suggesting that Aadhaar should be, you are suggesting Aadhaar only for citizen? Is that something you are suggesting?
No, for the whole, the citizen and the people who are also residing for 1 to 2 days at least. Because a person just getting into the India for 1 or 2 months, Aadhaar card is not needed, he's just on a travel allowance and all that. But people who's actually working, there are many foreigners staying in India for 7 to 8 months and then get back to the Europe, then 4 months they come and they must have Aadhaar card so that they can at least get few benefits which other beneficiaries are also getting. The deciding Indians, not the
beneficial for the government to pay taxes.
Taxes, because they are also here spending and they must also give idea, even they must give the GST at least.
That could you give automatically. Nobody checks your tax when you are buying the packet of chips, right?
No, having the company.
That's good. That's good. I will got that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I would like to call CFA on stage for their presentation.
And all present here, I, Arshita Singh, along with my team members Nishant Singh Rana and Siddharth Sati, are here to present a case folio analysis on the topic Aadhaar, the digital multiplier of the Indian economy. So, starting with the introduction, this case has highlighted the digital transformation and the changes that has been made by the government for the solution that has been identified by the government, the complications that has been faced by the Indian citizens. So, it has explored the impact of the Aadhaar on the country's economy. It has also dwelt into how Aadhaar has improvised or how Aadhaar has impacted the facilitates it has facilitates the financial illusions, and also it streamlines the government services, and has also improved the transparency along with the country's GDP. It will tell you about the in-depth analysis of how Aadhaar has contributed to the country's GDP growth. Now Nishant will tell you about the problem that has been identified in this case.
Good evening, panel. Good evening, everybody. Apart from, I think these are some very common problems that have been mentioned in the case study. These problems we have been discussing for a very long time. Apart from these common things, I think a major problem that we can identify right now is the saturation with the use of Aadhaar with a very segmented thing. Aadhaar is currently being used as a data providing tool for government agencies as well as private agencies. But if we look at the capability of Aadhaar, it is way beyond than just providing private data about the citizens. I think Aadhaar can be very vastly used apart from just being an information file about the individual, but also give more information about the history and background of what the individual can require to develop efficiently along with the country's growth. I believe a country can grow only when the individual of that country is growing efficiently and more consistently according to the dynamic changes that the market has been experiencing. For example, if we come to COVID, if we come to pandemic, we saw a huge change that came into the work life, that came into the lifestyle of the citizens of India, along which the government had to change absolutely everything in order to cater the needs of the current situation. A few technical terms that I would want to talk about is the thought process of the planning of the government scheme that is named by ABHA. The government of India is planning to implement ABHA by the end of 2027, which would be focusing to segregate all the health-related information of an individual on a single website, which would be giving a detailed information about whereabouts and history of the medical history of the individual, and helping improve the health sector in a much efficient manner, which is going to give enormous amount of growth with the more diversified and dynamic challenges that we are facing currently. It is currently available. We can currently understand that the availability of these sensitive informations to private sector is not really affordable, because it is not just providing them about their history, but it is providing you with your end-to-end data, that is your whereabouts, your locations, your addresses, and much more details about that. I think the government needs to regulate it and provide with a solution that can give out segregated information to the different industries. Finance people are not required of your whereabouts of your locations, and they should not be provided with the information about what you've been doing in the background. If we see how SSN has been working in the US countries or in the United States, they provide the financial companies about how your paying history has been in the background, which currently CIBIL has been doing in India. If Aadhaar is using these prospects individually, we can have a great development in the market on a single streamlined business. To provide further insights about the case study, I would like to invite Siddharth.
Coming to the SWOT analysis of the case study, we would like to tell if the strengths are there, there will always be a weaknesses for the upcoming things. The strengths are always that it's a unique identity for each and every citizen of the country. We have a rapid adaptation of the whole perspective. Coming to the weaknesses, we have seen in the initial stage of the implementation, we have seen so many versus lenders were there. Those were taking more than the charges which were being taken for as an interest. The online platforms which are lending loans have seen like Zest Money, which have faced so much consequences after the regulatory board have told them of taking more than the interest which was being implemented towards the other implementation. Opportunities are the private mergers. The government is having a segregated database which would help them for the programs or the new initiative that they want to take. Startups in the initial stage gets, as we all know, that forecasting and data analytics at this moment is so much costly for new startups. this data from Aadhaar would literally help them to get a forecasting for what a startup can be of only two types. They can go for a product or a service industry. So for both of them, they need the forecasting. The data which Aadhaar would be providing them, this would be a great opportunity. This would be a great opportunity for them and young entrepreneurs to enter in this field of taking into the business. The threats are, as usual, we know of the security and the privacy breach. Data broking is nowadays a big business in the industry. Many of them are taking their data from private institutes and private companies, and information loss. As in the unethical sector, we have seen a lot of information loss has been tackled at this point.
Quickly concluding to a single statement, I think Aadhaar is more than just an identification platform, but more of a tool that the government can use to eradicate every problem that in the current scenario the Indian citizens have been facing with the scattered information market.
Okay, so see, the privacy concerns of Aadhaar exactly centers around that, and you are saying give the data from Aadhaar to private companies, startups, to do their private business. This is exactly the concern.
Absolutely, ma'am. I think the problem is not with giving away the data, the problem is giving away the entire data. For example, there was a tweet by a journalist that came in the year 2019 or 20. She tweeted that a salesman from Reliance Jio had access to her the exact Aadhaar card from his home pad where he came to sell a SIM card to her. So that is not required, from the government to be giving out these information.
What information would they give us?
Let's say the name and age would be enough. Somebody who is age 5 would not need a data or a SIM card, or somebody who is at the age of 70 and above would not need that kind of information to be given out to the businesses. More use of data, SIM cards or voice related tools have been used by the youth or the millennial public in the society, and
who's going to decide that? What kind of data will be given to companies? This is exactly the privacy concerns that people are worried about.
Basically, ma'am, it is not about providing the data, it's about providing the segment of category what is required by the market right now. If you come
so you make it completely market-based.
It's basic. Giving the answer of your startup point, it is basically that if someone want to enter, as we take an example of 1mg, there is a subscription model in 1mg where you can subscribe for a day, a monthly opportunity for getting the same medicine. If there is a linkage of data of your prescription from your doctor, so there is a change, there is a tweak or some change in your medicine as per your health category, they can automatically get that data of your health perspective, and they can change that, and they can provide you in that subscription model. It is not about full-fledgedly giving your whole data to the private institutes or any other company. It is about the category what the third party is required.
Who's going to decide that?
The government. I think
so. You are leaving this entire privacy issue to the government, saying that.
I think currently the whole process is regulated by the government. No third party or no private company is regulating your Aadhaar rights. Anything you want to update, you need to go to a government organization. Let's say there are e-seva kendras where you can go physically and update your Aadhaar information, right? So if the government is regulating the entire thing, I think they should implement a specific department who would be working specifically around Aadhaar updatation and its information that can be provided to the private companies. Because
what you are saying will send shivers to the entire community who is raising issues about privacy and all.
But that only, ma'am, here comes the point of developing a new business of data security and e-governance, of providing segregating it to a whole sector. The government can initiate on this point also and take new startups and new businesses.
So you create a problem, then you create another department to solve the problem.
The problem is created and a new solution has to be implemented to the market.
So then again, as a problem arises, then you create another problem. This is how we are.
This is the whole cycle of business, ma'am.
I'm just pulling your leg, but this is your way into very, very controversial territory.
Yeah, I mean, just to be simpler here, for example, I don't want my data to go anywhere here. Right. What do you do about it? Do you take cognizance of my wishes or not?
While we talk about it, we do not know where our data is absolutely present right now. We are concerned about that. Why are we providing with everything to the companies who absolutely do not need it? Let's say for a company who needs my age.
Her question is absolutely right when she says that who decides whether this company needs my data or not? One. Second, do I have any control over my own data? For example, I want to give it away to a Jio or an Airtel, but I don't want to give it away to Sterling Holidays. And that's my concern, and that's absolutely fine. Right, so is there any individual choice freedom, or not in this country? That's now a bigger dialogue, right? So that's where we stop. No problem. Thank you so much. All the best.
So we are starting. So ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm fine. So ladies and gentlemen, as all of my respective friends have represented all the points that was needed, including the SWOT analysis. So I'm completely going to the last topic, that is the problems and the solutions that we have found out through our analysis. So in this conclusion, if you read, the first 2 pointers indicate that Aadhaar was how a great success Aadhaar was. A few digit number, and it converted our identity to digital form. It synchronized and integrated our all data. And in a country like India, which is still developing, it creates a digital infrastructure, or it's a digital hub, which even exceeds that of United States of America. But now, coming to the last point, which is the third one, it also indicates one of the remarks made by Mr. Kumar, who is from 2025 in the organization, that only 20% of the GDP is contributed through Aadhaar. Now, GDP, as we all know, is one of the major economic indicators. It is not only a major economic indicator of a country, it is also of an organization or any scheme also. So here I am going to give some points which are based on this remark only. The first point that comes into my mind is centralization of data. Because if any leakages are happening, there is some sort of mistrust in the public, some sort of disturbance in the utilization within the country or in the entity of economics. So here, if you come to that point, it is centralization of data. What happens in centralization of data? You have a card, you have a number which stores all your data. All other like PAN card, all are now not that much important as an Aadhaar card, because all other cards are linked to it. Now, if someone has access to that number up to that level that they have that data, they can have your all history. Now, when I talk about history, one of the information that very much consider here is the medical history. We have recently know about the attack that happened on AIMS, where medical data was stolen, and it was taken by very seriousness. In European Union, there are strict prevention laws on data, and especially dealing with the health. And that's why my suggestion is there should be a decentralization, there should be a fragmentation between the Ayushman card, which was there for the health, and the Aadhaar card, where these two data should be separated and should be covered separately, because health data after COVID-19 is one of the most sensitive data, and we are currently seeing how much the threat is coming in these sectors. So we need to decentralize and fragment the health from that. The second problem that I aim is the digital illiteracy. India is a country where still only 52% of people have internet access, let alone how many people have the access and understanding to that internet also. So in such a situation, we need to create a digital platform which is much simplified. I have my own experience. When using such data, we have problems with CAPTCHA, we have problems with OTP. If such a system is going to come in rural areas where people have just started to use the data, use those information, how will they do? It's not only 52%. You have to see the sub-segments also. Coming to the third point, and it's also one of the major points, is the organization and the government dealing with. We also discussed earlier. So my point is, when we are discussing about the data, for example, if an organization needs to verify that whether person X has done his degree from this university, what happens currently also that they used to contact the organization, the university or the college, and whether this person has done. This has happened in my institution. So what we need to do here is that we need to create a database, which of course is of Aadhaar, the government, and we also need to the database of the company. Let them integrate, but of course the main access of the data lies with the government. Let the company ask the questions that we want this query, and as long as it is concerned that what type of data should be given access to the companies, it is a very sensitive issue, as ma'am also pointed out. Here my point is, let it to be the nature to that organization, what it concerns and what is the relationship between the person and the organization it is dealing with. So here in the case, for example, there is an employer and an employee, and if that asks for the medical history, let it be limited to that is required for the profession. For example, what is the eyesight? Is the two hands working on according to medical report? That, not to that reports that are not concerned. What is its market habits? This is not something that an employer needs for the employee. So such data should not be shared. Let the main handle be with the main Aadhaar server, and the sub Aadhaar let have only the provisions of question and answer. Through this, we could actually integrate and also centralized and at one point also decentralized data also. It gives us both the options. And why this sensitivity is important, because in 2021 December, there was a leakage of data. That's why I think it's a very sensitive matter. Where the data was leaked by marketing and financial agencies, they got it through private. So this sensitivity should be considered. There should be a cooperation between the private and the government, and the main handle should be with the government. Thank you. I rest my case.
Thank you. Your time is up. Question answer.
Okay. Okay, thank you for keeping it short, and you are basically so. You were making a kind of a graded argument that on one hand you're saying not too much centralization, but also centralization, because if you have to drag some data out of it. Again, the big question, to a certain extent you've addressed it, but one of the issues is who is going to decide. If you think the government is in the best position to decide, and there will be people and groups who are not going to agree to that, what kind of information if I want to apply for, say, to teaching in a business school, what are the things that I need to have in terms of my physical ability? So this is a question again becomes, who's going to decide, right? So and you're saying somebody in between. Who is this in between? Some independent? Who's going to make these calls?
So ma'am, yes, this is the truth that, and I would also like to make one more claim that whatever solution we came in, there would be a percentage of people who would disagree. So keeping in this assumption in my mind, I would like to say, let it be on the nature of the relationship between the person and that institution. For an example, if I gave an example of that employer and employee relationship. For example, if there is a worker who works in there's an employee who works in a company, and there is so the basic medical details like eyesight, like if a person is.
Why do you need eyesight? So for example,
because if someone is working on a computer,
maybe I am blind, but I am capable of teaching. Who are you to decide whether I will?
Every specific job. For example, if we are in military, we need to be physically fit. We have a certain height conditions. If we are not, we have jobs. For disabled people, there are jobs. But every profession, there are minimum physical criteria, minimum mental criteria, minimum educational criteria, which everyone we already are doing, following it. What we are actually doing it, we are just making it a rule that yes, if there are certain minimum criteria, that would be set by government on the basis of the nature of relationship between that person and that organization, and would be validated. If
giving the government a lot of work, right? For every company, it has to decide what is the minimum criteria. It's a whole lot of work.
Ma'am, it's not about all. Not all can be compensated. I'm only talking about the minimum criteria. What is needed? Government cannot give all the data because it's public data. It's very sensitive. We are only allowing the data that is very much necessary for that operation or that work to specifically be carried out. That is the minimum criteria that needs to be. Otherwise, all the data should not be shared explicitly because these are continuously being misused. I gave the example that 2021 happened. So we need to specify that minimum criteria for every operation that is being carried out, and that is being needed to carry out that specific operation in that organization.
I would quickly like to go through the rest of the slides, if you can take us through the slides.
So our teacher actually told us not to use threads, so we
Okay, thank you.
Judges, our faculty members and all the audience present here. So here we are, I am Rinui table of content that we have created. Next slide, please. So this is an overview or a timeline of Aadhaar system, which has already been discussed by other team members as well. Coming over to the SWOT analysis, I will take it very brief. The strength of Aadhaar system has been linkage of every Indian citizen into the Aadhaar system so that they can access all those incentives which has been provided by the government towards them. The weakness has been the privacy concerns, which have already been discussed by other team members, and also people resorting to unauthorized lenders, due to which they need to pay hefty amounts of interest rate, as in banks we need Aadhaar cards so that we can get loan about it. The other one will be threats, which is duplication of Aadhaar card, and which leads to identity theft. And last one is the opportunity which we have diagnosed from the case study, and that is how we can leverage our Aadhaar system into our private sector. Now I would like Paras to come over and talk about further.
So thank you so much, Murali. So talking about the methodology which we have used for solving the case study. So we have used a SAPLAP analysis. I'll quickly define what is SAPLAP analysis. So in SAPLAP analysis, we use situation, the current prevailing situation, the main actors and their roles, the process. Then by studying this, we get the learning, the desired actions which we can take, and also the expected performance which we are expecting from the actors. So talking about the current situation, as very rightly talked by my competitors, in the case study it is mentioned that Aadhaar card has been very nicely adopted in the public sector. It has helped in many sectors like banking and finance, healthcare, travel and government schemes. All the examples have been quoted in the case study. But however, we have identified that in private sector, the penetration of Aadhaar card is very low. So according to us, the main actors for this case would be the government, the registrars and the operators, and also the general public. Also talking about the process currently on which the Aadhaar card works, it is a 3-tier process. The first is the identity layer, where you talk about the eKYC or e-signs. Then the payment layer, where you talk about UPI. And the last is the data layer, where all the data is maintained. Now I would like to invite Sugeet to talk about the proposed solution from our end.
So good evening everyone. So I'm going to talk about key learning issues. So what is the problem identification from the case study? First, how to leverage Aadhaar system in private sector. And areas identified where it can be used is education system and implementation of NAP policy. So in education system, I think Aadhaar should be made mandatory. But as you all know that Supreme Court has prohibited Aadhaar, it has made it voluntary in education system. So we are currently focusing on education system to reduce unauthorized biometrics, fraudulent activities, fraud universities, fraud and fraud scholarship. So we are currently minimizing these things. So suggested actions. So Aadhaar should be made mandatory for enrolling in any education institution and any course. It will also help in monitoring and controlling drop-off rates. As you know, in Bihar or in any rural areas, the drop-off rate is high. So women just drop off. The increase in drop-off, with the help of Aadhaar, we can analyze that drop-off rates. We can provide them certain schemes, and it can help minimizing the drop-off rate. Expected performance. So involve transparency in education, enhance tracking of each student, reduce fraudulent activities. So I'm just going to give an example of TRAI, Telecom Regulatory Authority of India, whereas R.S. Sharma, the chief, dared the French security person to just give me all the information about me. So he just gave the PAN number, he just tweeted the PAN number and Aadhaar number. And Elliot Alderson, he just exposed him. So he was showcasing the vulnerabilities in Aadhaar system. So I think they should focus on enhancing the security. Okay, so that was all.
So we are open to questions.
Aadhaar, suppose your concern is female enrollment rates in school, right? And you were saying Aadhaar can be used for that. See, Aadhaar is just a number, right?
Yes.
If you are talking about a rural school who's taking your Aadhaar card to enroll you, then how is that going to be used? You need another system in place to be able to connect that to the Aadhaar system, right? Aadhaar number. Aadhaar is just a number as of now, right? So, you know, what you are talking about would require other infrastructure.
Yes, that's what we were talking about now.
So that's a big thing, right? That's not Aadhaar.
I think they should focus more on private sectors also, because that will also help in boosting Indian economy through education system.
No, they're all different things. How would the private sector, what is the role of private sector? Say for example, in this education example that you gave.
I'll say that
Just give us an example.
with the help of Aadhaar, we can analyze the drop-off rates of each and every individual. Why the drop-off rates is increasing?
How would you answer that question with Aadhaar number? So suppose, so that means you are asking somebody to track the Aadhaar and track the dropout also. Those are two different things.
We can associate with the private sectors.
Where is the private sector coming in this?
So the institution which we are talking about, the educational institution, that is the private sector we are talking about. So for example,
It may not be a private sector, right? It can be a public sector.
If there is a college, private college, so while enrolling any student for a course, what they can do is they can ask for a Aadhaar number from
Well, that's fine. Suppose I drop out.
Yes.
Then what are they going to do?
Ma'am, then we yes the
you need another infrastructure to be connected, right? That's what I'm asking. What is the infrastructure requirement?
Ma'am, in the limited time which we were provided, we were able to come up with the problem,
and then you were going to look for another.
Ma'am, we will definitely deep dive into the problem and we will come up with a solution.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You need to think of
Let's start. Digital India is not an elite concept anymore. We have to use the idea of revolutionized health and education in India. Basically, we are talking about how digital works in India, and Aadhaar came up with an idea of digitalization in India. So let me give a short brief about this. Who launched the Aadhaar idea basically? First, at the time of Atal Bihari Vajpayee, I saw the idea of digitalization in India when he came up with the Aadhaar card. So there was a time when US used the security number as an SSN number, which is their security number, and India does not have any security number or anything. So they came up with the idea of Aadhaar number with a 12-digit unique number. How it came up with that? Why Aadhaar is launched? Basically, I told you that Aadhaar was launched by the Atal Bihari Vajpayee, and we come up with the idea. So when he launches this idea, there are many more problems and there are solutions as well. But at the time of this, there is a time of when Aadhaar card was being linked with PAN cards, passports, driving license, and the ration cards. It helps the rural and the urban areas in many sectors. Why Aadhaar card plays an important role in the foundation of digital India? It has a uniqueness, a 12-digit number. It is easy to carry, which is scalability and portability as well as random numbers. What is portability? Portability, earlier we have the Aadhaar card in the form of a card which can be easily theft or stealed by the people. So they have come up with the option of DigiLocker where you can just save your Aadhaar card as a copy or anything so that you can use anytime, anywhere without taking any thought कि कोई इसे चुरा लेगा या कोई इसको theft कर लेगा.
Now moving forward, I will explain you about the advantages of Aadhaar. As we can see, anti-corruption tool. It is an anti-corruption tool. I will give you an example regarding this. That we have seen very much frauds have been there in the market, and misuse of Aadhaar card is being done by individuals as if someone is dead. And we have seen that another person is using that Aadhaar in order to earn profits. Moving forward, the tool against tax evasion. This point I will explain you as if in the business we have seen businesses are doing wholesale trade, and after that they just interpret their ideas, and in this way the tax is being saved. After that, direct benefits transfer. Now disadvantages of Aadhaar. Biometrics are Biometrics are probabilistic, not secure, permanent, so people are compromised forever. And foreign handling of the data, problem arising due to centralization and individual information may be compromised. Misuse, now SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities. Talking about the opportunities and we can say solutions, raising awareness of the benefits of digital banking among people. As we have seen, more population in India is rural, so we should promote digital banking among people. After 2021, the situation has been changed. Integration of domestic banks with foreign markets, better development in areas such as risk management and CRM. CRM means customer reference number. Developing a modern base to avoid system failures and provide an efficient and secure platform for online transactions.
After this, we all have seen one thing that after launching the Aadhaar as a digitally or in a concept of paperwork, we just have go through with this that people are spreading the news of or the data with the Aadhaar card digitally, or they are selling our data to foreign people. So there are many solutions. Either we can use the OTP method, we can use any digital method or the IT sector. That's why India has launched by currently in the 2023 of June, where government asked to attach your Aadhaar card with a PAN number so that you can move, you can file your ITRs, you can get the PDF easily. Thank you.
Just go back to the SWOT analysis. Well, I'm not sure what do you mean by this statement that integration of domestic banks with foreign markets.
We are talking about the local banks in the villages and the rural areas where people basically they are not illiterate anymore, they are not having enough mobile phones, they are not having enough facilities to use. But in that time using a Aadhaar card as a facility to them so that they can get proper rations, they can have proper...
What is this foreign market? What do you mean by foreign markets?
Foreign market concerns are when we are working in a private sector in the corporate, where there are several places where corporates are linked with foreigners, where they directly deal with many foreign sectors.
How would Aadhaar do that? Aadhaar is just a number. How do you propose that Aadhaar comes, how does Aadhaar comes into this picture?
I will explain you with an example. As we have seen, like the person is doing and operating its business in India and Dubai as well. So in order to do a smoother transaction, government of India has a tie-up with the government of Dubai, and he can pay the amount in rupees as well. So that's the point of raising awareness of benefits of digital.
So that why is it Aadhaar's advantage or opportunity?
Because it's an identity number of the India. Because it showcases that you are the member, you are the citizen, or you are the resident of India.
Banks' IDs are being linked with Aadhaar card as well.
Any identity card will do that, right? The Indian passport will do that.
Definitely, Indian passport can do that. But before the Indian passport, we require the licenses. We require 3 documents for which showcase that you can apply for the Indian passport.
So you're saying those who don't have access to that, this is how they are going to connect.
But they
have businesses elsewhere.
No, but they can raise the fake IDs as well. That's why we have managed this.
Now you're going to a different topic again. But that's okay. I think let's stop here. Yes.
Nashi, you said that citizen of India versus resident of India is the same thing.
It's not the same thing, but they have to make sure that whosoever is paying to them, whosoever is buying, at least they have that compatibility, they have that surety that it's a citizen of India so that they can claim later that they are not receiving money or they are not getting money.
So Aadhaar ensures that?
Yes, it's an identity card. It's like pehchan hai hamari.
So for citizen of India or resident of India?
For both, it's required for both. It's mandatory. It's a mandatory thing. If we are moving to some other countries, we are looking for their identity, whether they are the security person or anyone else.
One last question.
Yes,
the refugees who are existing in India, can they get an Aadhaar card?
Yes, I can explain that. We know that at the border side of Jharkhand, which are mainly known as a refugee area, which showcase that they barely even care. Even we got the example of G20, that roadside beggars were cleaned at the time when G20 was happening, because we all know that they are never care about anything.
Can they get Aadhaar card?
they definitely don't have. But if we are asking about the ration card, if we are asking some of the profit which showcase them that they are need something, they will definitely give in the line that we require that.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Before we announce the result, I would like to call Dr. Soma Dey on the stage to give the insights of the presentation and analysis competition to our students and enlighten them with their wise words.
It was, I think it was a great learning opportunity for all of us, because that's one of the main purpose of this kind of case analysis. So I think all the teams have done a pretty decent job of understanding what the case is about and taking out the main features of the case and analyze to a certain extent at least. So good job on that front. What kind of framework can you use to understand a case like this? Okay, a lot of you have used the SWOT framework. The SWOT framework is it's a easy to understand external internal framework, but that frameworks work relatively better when you're talking about problems or how to improve in the context of a company which is situated in a sector. Aadhaar so what is Aadhaar? It's not a company. Is it a product? It's something broader than that. So to use a SWOT framework for that, it's a challenging proposition. You have to really modify the SWOT framework to use it. So that's something to keep in mind. One thing that you could have thought about is that what kind of this is. You can think of this as a system, as an enabler. And therefore, one of the other things you could have done is you could have seen what this kind of system or enabler, what kind of impact it has on various categories of things. A lot of you talked about economic implications of having this system or enabler in place. Yes, that can be one of the focus. You can also talk about, some of you also talked about societal aspects, so economic, social, and other sort of issues that you might think. Maybe it has political implications as well. Okay, so that's another way, you can call it a framework. I'm sure you learned about this when you did classes on ethics and corporate social responsibility. So this is an alternative framework to consider, which in this case, there's something for you to consider. Because one of the main things that happens when you see a problem which you haven't seen before is that what is the appropriate framework? And this is where you have to put a lot of time to understand what is an appropriate framework, what is the appropriate theoretical framework I'm going to use. Okay? So I want you to put a little bit more thought on this. Okay? So that's one comment. The other comment is that a lot of suggestions came in, and we were just discussing. It's great to see that you don't have much of privacy concern. So that means you must be upright citizens of the world who think that everything we do is an open book. So that's your take. There's probably a bit of a generation difference in that, which is fine, which is your take. But one of the things that I also noticed in this, that a lot of things that you suggested would require the Aadhaar as an identification system and other systems to be superimposed on that. So for example, how can it be used in an educational system or health system? Now, development of those infrastructures are not trivial matter. Okay, so in order to say that we can use Aadhaar can you make the argument that we can use Aadhaar to create that system? That's kind of a leap of faith. Probably what a lot of you are saying that there can be parallel systems some of you argued can also be developed by private parties, which can be superimposed into this identification system. And therefore, these things, two things coming together, will have a bigger impact on all the things that you're talking about. So, that's, for a lot of this presentation, I thought that you have not, I'm sure you've identified, but you have not spoken about that. Those are also parallel systems. So maybe you talk about integration of those systems. In some cases, we're talking about also the decentralization, etc. So I thought these are the 2 points I would just mention. Otherwise, there are a variety of ideas, and I can see that a lot of you have a lot of trust that when management is done by private entities, it's done better. So it's an interesting observation to see a lot of young men and women believing in that, which is a great thing. So I think that's all. All the best, and hope you participate in these kind of things more often.
Dr. Niva Mintari to also enlighten our students.
Thank you. Okay, I'm sorry I'm disturbing your mic, but I'm tall. Right, wonderful effort. Wonderful effort by the Geeta Ratan International Business School for organizing this case competition, and lovely efforts put in by all the participants, I would say. Madam very well talked about framework. You need to also look at your format. Case analysis format requires you to start with your problem statement, and before that, situation analysis. Alternatives, criteria, evaluation, all of that should be in sync. That's one. Having said that, these kind of case presentations also give you an opportunity to refine your presentations and become a good public speaker and presenter, right? So that's another area probably that's where you need to pay a little bit of attention. Grammatical errors, spelling mistakes, that is criminal, on the slide that's criminal. So paying attention to that, I know you might have made your presentations in slight bit of hurry. Fluency, knowing your thing very well, expertise onto your slide is again important. You are the king while you're here on the stage. It's not your presentation that speaks. It's you who needs to bring out your persona, right? So that's the game of presentation. Do it more. Be more confident, less nervous, know your thing very, very well, and with that you will definitely come out in flying colors. All the best to all of you, and we'll see you again sometime soon. Thank you.
Quick ceremony. Let's start now. Third team will get
So we are really sorry. The time is quite late today. Fine. Now I'm going to declare the result. Can I start from the back or can I start from the front? Back. Okay. Second runner-up is, there's a tie between...
Should we call the judges and we start giving the prizes simultaneously?
Yeah, that would be...
No, you do the honors. I think.
No, please.
You join us.
You join.
We'll finish it, wind it off in another 5 minutes.
Banania?
नॉर्मल किसने छोटा किसने दोनों मिक्स किसने में किसके आने चाहिए चाहे नॉर्मल
between GIBS NDIMS and NDIM and ABS. NDIM,
yes, sir.
ABS.
Not expecting a tie between the two, but both the teams should come forward.
Yeah, ABS CF8 team it is. So ABS CF8. And Individual Institute of Management CF6 and CF8.
ये सर जूम मोटो भी देखेंगे
Ma'am, medal please. As far as ABS okay. So your medals will be ready. We'll be sending it to you. Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please. All three, please hold it. Where are the certificates? Yes, fine. This should be on for the photograph.
Done, sir.
Congrats. Stand in between the corners. Get the certificate. Here are your medals. Hold your certificates. All three of you hold the certificates. And now face the camera. So, then the trophy. This is a rolling trophy.
This is yours. Yes.
Hold this. This year you are the winner.
मैम लाइक थोड़ा पास पास आ जाए
All the members please join us.